So I guess you're ready for the next 10 steps, 4th grade, because here you are on Making a Sway, day 3. We've got the same objective, which is that you can build a sway to share about your Black history research. Now, if you remember yesterday, we built a stack, and today we're going to be doing a whole different piece of that sway. Now, just like yesterday, though, we will start off with the same first step, which is that we have to open our sway through Office 365. Tap on sway, tap on your presentation, and again, it's going to open up to your storyline view. Now, yesterday when you opened up storyline view, you only saw the title that you had created the first day you worked on your sway, but now you're going to see your progress from yesterday as well. You'll have your title, your image, and then you'll see that horizontal tape diagram bar that shows that you built your stack yesterday. So go ahead and pause this video to get all of your project reopened before we move on to that next step. Now that you're on the next step, we're going to be adding a new feature to your sway. Tap on the teal plus sign to add content to your sway. Now, when you first added content yesterday, it popped up a little menu where you saw heading 1, text, image, stack, which is what you created, and then the word upload. Now, none of those are what we are going to be making today. We have to open up a whole new menu. Do you see the word group? I've underlined it in blue on my screen in the screen capture. You're going to tap on group. When you tap on group, you're going to have a whole new menu of things to add to your sway. You have the choice between an automatic box, a grid, a comparison, which is like a before and after, a stack, which is what you made yesterday. But today we're going to build a slideshow, and I've circled that icon for you. So tap on slideshow. You probably have already finished this step, but again, if you need to pause the video to tap on slideshow, do that job first. Your slideshow will be a group of images that describe the research that you did. So instead of switching back and forth between adding texts and images like you did yesterday in a stack, when you add a slideshow, you're going to add an image and then type a caption that describes that image. The first image that you'll be searching for is a picture of the person that you studied. Select the image that you like and then tap Add. Once you choose that image, it's going to prompt you to type a caption. Your caption will be a sentence explaining why this person is famous. What are they known for? That might mean that you need to dig back into your research notes that you took, but that was all information that you searched for when you did research on this person. So here's what I wrote about Claudette. First, I found an image of her, one of her most famous images. And in my sentence, I wrote, Claudette Colvin is famous because when she was 15, she refused to give up her seat on the bus and she was arrested. That's what she is best known for. If you feel like you need more than one sentence to describe why your person is famous, absolutely add as many details as you'd like. But you need to have at least one sentence with capital letters in your person's name and an ending mark at the end. Pause this video to add your first image of your person and type the sentence about why they are famous. Then return to this video if you're ready for step 4. Take a moment to pause now, otherwise I'm going to move to the next step in 3, 2, 1. Congrats, my friend, you just finished the first slide of your slideshow if you just wrapped up step 3. So step 4, let's add another slide. Tap the teal plus sign button below your caption and tap on image. After you choose your image, you're going to type another caption to describe your research. But before you start searching for photos, let me get really specific for you about what you're going to be looking for and what you're going to be typing in this second slide. For this slide, you're going to be sharing one of the 3 interesting facts that you found while researching your person. Now, the picture that you search for is going to depend on the interesting fact that you want to share first. For example, my first fact is about how Claudette's arrest inspired Rosa Parks. So it just made sense for me that I would search for an image of Rosa Parks to put into this section of the slideshow. So I searched Rosa Parks, found a picture of her, and for her caption I typed, "Her arrest is what inspired Rosa Parks to protest and do the same thing. Most people remember Rosa Parks, but didn't know that Claudette did it first. So take a moment even before you start searching and look at your research notes. Pick out which of the 3 interesting facts do you want to share first. Do you know which fact it is? Did you decide? Okay, now that you picked out that fact, brainstorm in your head what sorts of pictures match this fact. What can you search for in images that'll really describe what this fact is trying to say? Okay, do you know what image you're going to look for? Go ahead and search that image, tap to add it into your slideshow, and then create a caption in a full sentence, maybe even more than one full sentence, describing that interesting fact. This might take you a little bit, so remember, you got to pause your video to keep up with these steps. Pause this video, and I'm going to move on to the next step in about 5, 4, 3, seriously, pause now if you haven't yet, 2, and 1. All right, I think you're starting to get the hang of it because we're going to do a lot of repetition now. We're on step 5, but step 5 is basically the same as step 4, which was basically the same thing as step 3. You're going to add a new slide to your slideshow by tapping on the teal plus sign, tapping on image, and find another image for another interesting fact that you will describe in the caption. So for this slide, I searched for a picture of New York City because my second interesting fact is that Claudette moved to New York. I typed New York into the image search, found this picture, dragged it in. I felt like I had a lot of black and white. I really liked that this one was in color. And then I wrote a full sentence in the caption to describe why I picked out that picture. My image reads, Claudette Colvin moved to New York City when she was 19. Remember to pause this video to create your third slide about one of your interesting facts, and then return to this video when you're ready. I'm going to move on to the next step in 3, 2, 1. Could you guess what we were doing next? We are over halfway through our steps, and again, we are repeating ourselves. It's step 6, but we're repeating step 4. Add an image for another interesting fact and type that fact into the caption. Remember, it was your job to research 3 interesting facts, so you should have 3 separate slides to describe those 3 interesting facts. For this slide, I searched for a picture of nurses because my last interesting fact is that Claudette worked as a nurse's aide. Once I found an image of nurses that I liked, I inserted it into my slides and I typed in the caption, Claudette grew up to be a nurse aide, period. I bet you can guess what I'm going to say. Pause this video to create that next slide in your slideshow, and whenever you're ready to move on to the next step, press play again. I'll see you in about 3, 2, and 1. I bet you're looking at that research and noticing that you're running out of things to put into this sway. That's totally true because in step 7, you're creating your last slide. For your last slide, you're going to share about the word that you think describes your research subject. While you were researching earlier this week, you were supposed to brainstorm a word that you think describes them. For me, for Claudette, I chose brave. Search for an image of that word, and then type a caption describing why you think your word describes the person that you studied. For example, like I mentioned, I think Claudette is brave. So I searched brave in the image bar and I found this beautiful picture of someone being courageous on top of a mountaintop. In my sentence, I want to describe why I chose the word brave for Claudette. So I wrote, I think Claudette is brave because she stood up for what was right, even when it meant getting into trouble. So pause this video to build your last slide in your slideshow describing the person that you studied in one word. Once you find an image of that word, you're going to type a beautiful sentence describing why you chose it. Pause this video and return to this video when you finished your last slide. I'll see you in about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, step 8. Here we are. You finished your slideshow. So let's switch over to design mode so we can see what our finished slideshow looks like. And do you see it right there? There's our top image. Now, I can probably guess what you're thinking next. Mrs. Schumann, I get it. I found all these images, but you made me write all of these captions, and I don't see the captions anywhere. Why did I write all these captions if I can't even see them on my Sway project? Okay, don't fret. Welcome to step 9. You're going to see your slideshow, but you won't be able to see the captions that you wrote when you're in design mode. If you want to see the captions, the Sway has to be in play mode, which you can preview right there. Now, do you see in my top image, I have a pink mouse pointing to a little triangle that reads play. If you tap on play, then you can look at your slideshow. A little box is going to appear. You're going to tap on the black box in the top corner of each picture, and it'll pop up the caption. So I circled what an example of a caption will look like. Here they are. Now you can return to your main storyline by tapping on the edit button with an icon of a pencil. So when you're done looking at play mode, you want to go back to editing your work. Look where the other pink mouse is pointed to. At the button edit, it's got a pencil. And when you tap on it, it's going to take you back to that storyline and design view modes. Which brings us to our final step of the day, step 10. Now you're used to taking pictures of your work in design mode and uploading that to Seesaw. Today, I don't want to see a screenshot of your design mode because remember, I'm not going to be able to see your captions. So instead, switch back to storyline and take a screenshot of the slideshow that you made with the 5 pictures and 5 captions. Here's an example of my screenshot. Now, I'm on a computer. You're on an iPad. Our screenshots might look different. I was able to squeeze all 5 slides into my screenshot. You might not be. Do your best to fit as many of your slides from your slideshow as you can into one single screenshot. And then you're going to upload that screenshot onto Seesaw. Pause this video and take a screenshot of your storyline slideshow. And then return to this video when you're ready to wrap things up. Thanks for coming back to this video so I can tell you congratulations because yet again, you've done it. You've completed your 10 steps of the day. 10 more steps down and you have finished a big chunk of your Sway project. Now after you upload your screenshot to your Seesaw, you'll be done for the day and you'll be ready to return to your last day of your Sway project tomorrow where we finish things up and you share it with me. So